gift before he returns home. Yes, you heard right. The gift is the cars downstairs. And of course, there will be cash as well. The company erupted in excitement, expressing their joy fervently. Phrases like the boss is amazing and the boss is formidable resonated, creating a cacophony of admiration. Some even shouted daddy in their exuberance. Naturally, the vehicles range from high to low end, allocated based on the performance results audited by the company's finance department. The greater the profit generated for the company, the more generous the reward. After the cheers subsided, many felt a wave of gratitude and silently vowed to give their all in the new year. From this day forward, the proportion of Tang Xiao Capital employees owning private cars is surpassed 30%. Those who have not yet achieved their goals remain undeterred, for they possess a clear vision of what standards they must meet to receive their rewards next year. A palpable determination fills their hearts. Today, no one takes a break for lunch, as the atmosphere is charged with energy until the afternoon work commences. It is as if a pause button has been pressed, and everyone immediately transitions into a state of productivity. Chen Xiao glances at the clock, noting that there is still more than a week until the new year. Su Tang continues to immerse herself in her work, with her injuries expected to heal only after the holiday. Chen Xiao can only endure this situation temporarily, seizing any advantage he can. However, when Chen Xiao is by Su Tang's side, she sets aside all tasks to indulge in playful antics with him. Yet, when he departs or falls asleep, she burns the midnight oil to complete the unfinished work of the day. Initially, Chen Xiao merely observed Su Tang growing increasingly haggard, presuming it was merely the result of external pressures affecting her well-being. It was only after catching her working late into the night that he began to understand the truth. This girl is extremely stubborn, and with the year-end rush, he can only minimize his interruptions to her. This inadvertently benefits Xia Yudi. Having tasted the sweetness of their time together, deliberately prolongs her stay instead of returning home. It is only when old Xia contemplates purchasing a ticket to Jining to retrieve her back to Sichuan that Xia Yudi reluctantly embarks on her journey home. In the final moments before her departure, she leaves a lasting impression on Chen Xiao with her spirited antics. After being thoroughly immersed in the world of animation, Chen Xiao feels an overwhelming need to reconnect with reality. He reaches out to Zhang Ting, who is still filming, for a heartfelt conversation, awakening from the dreamlike state he had been in. As the new year approaches, Wang Li has already called several times. Concerned that she might send old Chen to track him down, Chen Xiao bids farewell to Su Tang, Zhang Ting, and Shi Yinru in succession before preparing to leave by bus. Just then, he suddenly hears a familiar voice. "Son!" Chen Xiao exclaims, "What the?" Turning around, he sees Chen Jiangwo and Chen Jianjun hurrying toward him, dragging their suitcases along the main road. The earlier scene must have been quite visible. Chen Xiao is somewhat speechless. Didn't they just return home a week ago? Why are they still here? Chen Jiangwo, without a moment to spare to ponder Chen Zhao's interactions with the ladies, urgently inquires, "Is there anything to eat?" Chen Xiao responds in surprise. "Huh?" Chen Jianjun adds, "Xiao, we haven't eaten for 2 days." Chen Xiao is taken aback, observing their weary faces. Cracked lips, unkempt beards, and bloodshot eyes. Their shoes and pant legs are caked in mud, and one of the wheels on their suitcase is missing. "What happened to you two?" "Sigh." Chen Jiangwo replies, "Let's get something to eat first." Su Tang immediately calls for the housekeeper, instructing them to prepare lunch for the uncles, ensuring it is ready within 10 minutes. "Yes, Miss Su." Chen Jiangwo, having met Su Tang before and recognizing her as his son's top aide, smiles and says, "Thank you, Ms. Su." Su Tang's cheeks flush with a hint of shyness, akin to meeting in-laws, as she quickly steps forward to take the suitcase from Chen Jiangwo. "Uncle, please go inside and rest for a bit." "All right." Given that Su Tang's arm has yet to fully heal, Chen Xiao insists she should not carry anything, commanding someone to take over, and then leads the women back to the villa, until settling down, after sipping some hot tea and nibbling on a few snacks. Chen Jiangwo began to notice the difference. The ones preparing clothes for the two of them, serving tea, and arranging baths were all stunningly beautiful young ladies. Chen Jianjun glanced at Chen Jiangwo without uttering a word. Chen Jiangwo pondered silently. Earlier, he had seen Chen Xiao embrace everyone in turn, assuming it was merely a youthful gesture, but now, observing the situation, he wondered if all of this was orchestrated by that little rascal. "Hey Dad, what on earth is going on with you two?" Chen Jiangwo finally came to his senses and let out a heavy sigh. "Ah, I wonder if you have seen that film released last year." "What film?" Chen Jiangwo replied, "The Journey of a Man in Distress." "Huh, you too?" Chen Xiao remarked, nodding. Chen Jiangwo affirmed, "Indeed, We encountered extreme weather mid-flight. Our phones were stolen upon disembarking. We couldn't secure train tickets, and our car broke down halfway. The difference is, your second uncle didn't win a single cent in the lottery, and his wallet was stolen as well. I only remembered your third uncle's phone number, and he only remembered mine. If it weren't for the kind-hearted villager transporting aquatic products, we might have starved along the way. Chun Xiao exclaimed, "What the hell?" Observing the gloomy expressions on both their faces, Chun Xiao and the group of young women struggled to suppress their laughter. Similar films had already been produced otherwise. Chun Xiao would have insisted that the company create a film featuring the two brothers. "Little rascal, go ahead and laugh. If you hold it in and go home, your mother will surely reprimand me." Laughter erupted in the villa. Chun Jiangwo had endured hardships while traveling for a week, though Chun Xiao was unaware of the extent of his suffering. However, from their ravenous eating, he could vaguely imagine. While eating, Chun Jiangwo inquired, "Now that there are no tickets available, how do you plan to return? By car? The highways are congested." Chun Xiao replied, "No worries. You two just enjoy your meal. I have a friend who is a pilot. He has arranged for me to sit in the cockpit and take you both back. I'll use my connections to secure 2 standing tickets for you." Chun Jiangwo exclaimed, "What? Are there standing tickets on a plane?" Having flown twice, he had never encountered such a scenario and felt somewhat ignorant. Chun Xiao explained, "Small planes have looser regulations, especially with acquaintances involved. It's all manageable." "Well, that works, as it's just a matter of 3 hours. We must properly thank your friend for this. Given the spring festival travel rush, it's nearly impossible to obtain any tickets." Su Tang and the others exchanged glances, caught in the awkwardness of listening to their boss trying to persuade his father, struggling to find the right expression. Originally, Chun Xiao had intended for Chun Jiangwo to rest for a day before reapplying for a flight, planning to depart the following day. However, Chun Jiangwo, eager to return, insisted on leaving today without rest. Chun Xiao had no choice but to acquiesce. After dining and taking a brief hour's rest, Chun Xiao led the two brothers, bidding farewell to Su Tang and the others. They insisted on accompanying Chun Jiangwo to the airport, but Chun Xiao firmly intervened, stating, "You are injured. It is not yet the time for the daughter-in-law to demonstrate her filial piety." On the road, Chun Jianjun occupied the front passenger seat, while Chun Jiangwo and Chun Xiao settled in the back. Although it was not their first time riding in this vehicle, the brothers remained in awe of the luxury that enveloped them, particularly the impeccable soundproofing of the windows. "Son, how is it that the sound insulation in your car is so exceptional?" Chun Xiao chuckled. "It's a necessity for work." Chun Jiangwo, somewhat puzzled, inquired, "What kind of work necessitates soundproofing?" In truth, Chun Xiao's choice was not solely for the sake of tranquility. The bulletproof glass was significantly thicker than ordinary glass, naturally enhancing its soundproofing capabilities. It was only after making the switch that he realized the difference. The experience was indeed remarkable. No matter how loudly one might scream inside the car, the outside world remained blissfully unaware of the commotion. As the spring festival approached, every mode of transportation, by water, land, or air, was inundated with travelers. In an era where traffic jams were not particularly severe, even the highways leading to the airport were exceedingly congested. Upon arrival, the scene was a veritable sea of humanity. Individuals burdened with an array of bags and suitcases filled the airport to capacity. This phenomenon not only showcased the rapid ascent of the domestic economy, but also highlighted how air travel had gradually become a commonplace mode of transportation. The urgency to return home was unmistakably etched on every face. Chun Jiangwo clicked his tongue, contemplating the daunting task of navigating through the throngs of people. "Xiao, what time does your friend's flight depart? Will we make it?" Chun Xiao smiled reassuringly. "Don't worry, we'll be on time. If you're not there, he won't take off." Chun Jianjun, somewhat perplexed, surveyed the bustling crowd and remarked, "Then let us hurry and push our way in." Just as he was about to plunge forward, Chun Xiao firmly grasped his arm. "Hold on. As I mentioned, we have connections, so we'll be using the special access." Chun Jiangwo was taken aback. "Is that even possible?" "Absolutely. Follow me," Chun Xiao replied as he strode toward the designated passage. The brothers exchanged glances, momentarily stunned, before promptly trailing behind. "Little Xiao is quite impressive," Chun Jianjun commended, giving a thumbs up. The brothers, still fresh from their recent success, clung to many of their former notions. In their minds, anyone capable of accessing a special pathway at the airport was undoubtedly a person of significance, someone with connections. A sense of pride washed over Chun Jiangwo. Not only was his son wealthy, but his network was also expanding significantly. They hurried to keep pace. After passing through security, The group arrived at the waiting area. Just as Chun Jiangwo was about to find a seat, Chun Xiao interjected, "Let us board first." Chun Jiangwo paused. "Don't we need to wait for our flight? Even those in first class are waiting." Chun Xiao replied with a grin, "No need to wait. Remember, we entered through special means, so we board early." Chun Jiangwo mused to himself how solid those connections must be. Accompanied by Chun Xiao, they took the airport's exclusive vehicle, which brought them directly to the aircraft. Upon seeing the plane, Chun Jiangwo noted its relatively modest size, significantly smaller than the commercial jets they were accustomed to. No wonder there was lax oversight, allowing people to board without purchasing tickets. "Hello, uncle." "Hello, third uncle." Both men turned in surprise at the cheerful greeting from a beautiful young woman waiting by the aircraft steps. Hello." Chun Jiangwo felt somewhat bewildered. There were simply too many beautiful girls surrounding Chun Xiao. Which one was this? Chun Xiao chuckled and said, "Let me introduce you. This is Sunning, my senior from university, also from Beisheng. We are heading home together for the new year." Upon hearing that she was from the same hometown, Chun Jiangwo relaxed a bit. "Oh, which part of the city are you from, young lady?" "Uncle, I am from Qing City." "Oh, that's not far. Feel free to come over and visit sometime." "Sure. All right, let's chat more once we board," Chun Xiao concluded, leading the way onto the plane. Initially, Chun Jiangwo thought little of the small aircraft. However, once he boarded, he quickly realized it was quite different. The seating was sparse, with only a handful of seats, all of which were spacious leather sofas. The decor was exceedingly luxurious, exuding a sense of opulence. Noticing that the Chun brothers stood in the aisle, looking perplexed, Chun Xiao remarked, "Dad, why are you two just standing there? Find a seat." Chun Jiangwo replied, "Aren't these standing tickets? Surely, all these seats are occupied?" Chun Xiao burst into laughter. "What people? This is a private plane." "What? A private plane?" The Chun brothers were left speechless. After a moment, they asked, "Whose is it?" Chun Xiao replied, "In this cabin, it's just us. Who else could it belong to?" Chun Jiangwo was taken aback, finally realizing the situation. "What do you mean standing tickets? You little rascal, are you pulling my leg?" Noticing him beginning to unbuckle his belt, Chun Xiao felt alarmed. Fortunately, Sunning stepped in front and quickly said, "Uncle, please take a seat. Would you like something to drink? I can get it for you." Chun Jiangwo, considering her presence, relinquished the idea of loosening his belt. With a huff, he casually sank into a nearby sofa. "Ah, this is truly comfortable." Chun Jianjun was equally speechless. He had believed Chun Zhao's earlier claims wholeheartedly. Not long after the brothers settled in, the plane began to taxi. They gazed at the bustling scene at the boarding gates and couldn't help but exclaim, "Being wealthy truly has its advantages." The plane taxied and took off smoothly, soaring above the clouds and gliding through the azure sky. The private aircraft boasted remarkable speed, particularly the Gulfstream 650, noted as the fastest subsonic private jet, could reach speeds of approximately 200 kilometers per hour. In about 2 hours, it covered a distance that would typically take over 3 hours by commercial flight from Jining to Ice City. For the first time, the Chun brothers experienced the luxury of a private jet. The entire cabin was filled with familiar faces. They could do as they pleased. The sense of freedom to enjoy the skies was entirely different from being confined to a cramped seat on a commercial airliner. The thought stirred something within Chun Jiangwo, who had earned several $100,000 this year. He mused, if only he had such a small aircraft, traveling between Modu and Ice City would be much more convenient. After some contemplation, he approached Chun Xiao, who was engrossed in a card game, and inquired, "How much does this little plane cost?" Chun Xiao glanced at him and replied, "Not too expensive, just over 400 million. Chun Jiangwo asked, "What?" Chun Xiao, puzzled, responded, "What is the matter?" "Oh, nothing, just asking." Chun Jiangwo reassured himself. Instantly, he felt relieved, knowing that such a purchase was beyond his reach, directly severing the hope within his heart. Chun Jiangwo lay down on the airplane and dozed off. Upon awakening, he found that the plane was already preparing to land. "Time to head home," Chun Jiangwo exclaimed. Chun Xiao replied, "You all go back first. I will escort Sunning to Qing City and return either tomorrow or the day after." Sunning, feeling slightly embarrassed, suggested, "Why don't you go home first? I will visit uncle and aunt next year." "No need. My father won't be angry," Chun Jiangwo assured her. "I won't be upset, but if your mother finds out, wouldn't she skin you alive?" Chun Xiao chuckled. "Comrade Chun Jiangwo, as a senior executive in our company, you must be able to handle such matters. This is a crucial indicator of whether a senior manager is competent." Chun Jiangwo was speechless, muttering under his breath, "Damn it, this little rascal." Chun Jianjun quickly interjected, "Second brother, it's generally better to address the chairman directly." Chun Jiangwo responded, and Chun Xiao burst into laughter. Third uncle. I believe you have a bright future as the vice president. Work hard, and you will surely be promoted. Chapter 395. What brings you here? Chun Jiangwo was taken aback, glancing at his son and brother, suddenly feeling a sense of foreboding. Damn it, this role seems to be wasted on me. I can't even find a sense of authority in front of him. He pondered, is it strange to be in my 40s? On the highway to Qing City, Sun Ying nestled in Chun Xiao's embrace, her delicate hand gently caressing his chest. Chun Xiao, will uncle truly not be angry? She inquired. Chun Xiao smiled. Rest assured. Old Chun is likely focused on preventing my third uncle's resurgence. Ha. Sun Ying rolled her eyes. It's New Year's, and you're inciting discord between the brothers. Chun Xiao replied. This is merely a distraction. A smile of happiness blossomed on Sun Ying's lips, realizing that Chun Xiao's every action was meant to accompany her home. On the national highway back to Lancheng, Chun Jiangwo contemplated, Third, you don't actually wish to be promoted, do you? Chun Jianjun reassured him, Second brother, don't worry. I am not suited for leadership and prefer to handle specific tasks. Chun Jiangwo felt a sense of relief. As long as the company goes public, his life would be worthwhile. When that time comes, I will retire. It's been tough to build this empire, but let my brother take over. When the foundation is secure, does it truly matter who sits at the helm? We'll take turns. Chun Jianjun thought to himself. Why does this sound like something from an ancient drama? Forget it. Just drive yourself. I only wish to work diligently, maintain a harmonious family, and have enough money to spend. Upon hearing this, Chun Jiangwo joyfully declared, Indeed, this is the most enviable life. Rest assured, third brother, I will work hard to help you realize your aspirations. By the way, are you hungry? I brought some bread from the plane. Chun Jianjun replied, I'm not hungry. I had enough of the big pancakes. After a week of travel, they finally returned home. No matter how arduous or glorious the struggle outside, home would always be the harbor for the soul. The two brothers, filled with sentiment, hurriedly entered the house, laden with bags of local specialties. Uncle, you're back. Su Xiaolan et go lim. Chun Jiangwo was taken aback. Oh, Xiaolan, when did you arrive? As Wang Li approached, drying her hands, she remarked, Xiaolan has just arrived as well. Did Qin Xiao not say he would return with the two of you? Yes, indeed, Chun Jiangwo replied. But where is he? Wang Li glanced back. Yes, where is he? Chun Jiangwo pondered an excuse. Wang Li insisted, I am asking you. Where is he? Chun Jiangwo looked towards Chun Jianjun, who helplessly explained. Xiao went to Qing City for a project inspection and will return in a couple of days. Chun Jiangwo affirmed, all right, the project inspection. Wang Li was taken aback and could not help but complain, even during the new year. He has to run around. My son is working too hard. What are you two doing back? Chun Jiangwo and Chun Jianjun both looked at each other. Sister-in-law, my brother, and I want to go as well. But Xiao said that this business deal is quite significant, and we are not suited to participate. Oh, well then, wash your hands and let us eat, she said. Meanwhile, Qin Xiao had already arrived at the doorstep of Sun Ying's home in Qing City. The bodyguards were dispersed nearby and did not accompany him. Sun Ying, pulling Chun Xiao along, joyfully knocked on the door. However, once the door opened, the smiles on the faces of two middle-aged couples and a young man gradually froze. Sun Ying's expression mirrored theirs. Aunt Wang, what brings you here? Sun Ying's mother shot her a disapproving glance, saying, Child, how can you speak like that? Your Aunt Wang has come specifically to see you. But, Sun Ying glanced at Qin Xiao. Didn't I say I wanted to give you a surprise? Her mother, understanding her daughter's signal, replied with some reluctance, Well, I thought I was giving you a surprise too. Qin Xiao, holding a gift box in both hands, introduced himself, Uncle. Aunt, I am Qin Xiao, a friend of Sun Ying's, wishing you a prosperous new year in advance. Sun Ying's father, Sun Yuemin, regained his composure and said, Oh, you must be Ying Ying's classmate. Come in and sit down. Why bring gifts? Such courtesy. As they settled on the sofa, Chun Xiao distinctly sensed the awkward atmosphere. The young man brought by Aunt Wang was dressed in a white shirt, trousers, and polished shoes, with slick-back hair, exuding an air of refinement. Yet, Qin Xiao felt that the young man's gaze towards him was filled with hostility. Regardless of how uncomfortable it was, they had arrived and could not simply leave. After some pleasantries, Sun Ying's mother and Aunt Wang busied themselves in the kitchen while Sun Yuemin and the middle-aged man continued their tea and chess game. Only Qin Xiao, Sun Ying, and the young man remained in the living room. What are you doing here, Lu Hai? Sun Ying asked, displeased. I intended to bring Chun Xiao home to introduce him to my family, she lamented, but now this situation has arisen. Lu Hai adjusted his glasses calmly, stating, I'm here for a blind date. Our mothers have arranged it. Blind date my foot. Sun Ying retorted as she wrapped her arm around Chun Zhao's. This is my boyfriend, and I'm about to have his child. Lu Hai's expression changed dramatically, as if struck by a blow, staring in shock at the two of them. Chapter 396. Preparing for the full moon celebration. Chen Xiao was speechless, surprised by Sun Ying's assertiveness, leaving Lu Hai utterly speechless. How can you do this? We had a betrothal arranged. Sun Ying, with a serious expression, remarked, Lu Hai, are you foolish? Can the playful banter from our childhood days of wearing open crotch pants be taken seriously? Lu Hai retorted, Ying, one must honor their promises. Nonsense. What era are we in? Besides, is this even a promise? After a moment of contemplation, Lu Hai continued, at the very least, grant me a fair chance to compete. I refuse to believe I cannot surpass him. Chen Xiao, speechless, had yet to respond when Sun Ying interjected, what are you comparing with my boyfriend? You can't even match him in terms of tenacity. Chen Xiao coughed. Be mindful of your words. Sun Ying turned her face, instantly donning a smile. I was merely using a metaphor. She then resumed her cold demeanor towards Lu Hai, stating, enough of the comparisons. After we finish eating, we shall part ways amicably. Let us not bring shame upon our elders. Do you understand? Lu Hai fell silent, though his expression betrayed his discontent. Sun Ying shot him a stern look, then turned to Chen Xiao gently. Darling, please take a seat. I will go speak with my mother. All right, go ahead, Chen Xiao replied. Once the living room was left with only Chen Xiao and Lu Hai, an awkward atmosphere settled between them. Observing the stillness, Chen Xiao decided to take out a pack of cigarettes, offering, care for a smoke? I don't smoke. Lu Hai responded, casting a disdainful glance at Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao chuckled, undeterred, and lit one for himself. Feeling slighted, Lu Hai inquired, how did you manage to win Sun Ying's affection? Win her over? That was unnecessary. We are mutually enamored, Chen Xiao replied. Lu Hai gritted his teeth. Mutual affection means little without a material foundation for life. Do you possess wealth? Chen Xiao pondered and remarked, I have a modest sum. A modest sum? You must realize that post-graduation life is not like school. It involves discussions of marriage, housing, vehicles, and finances. One cannot get by with just a little. This was the first time Chen Xiao encountered someone comparing wealth with him, and with a hint of amusement, he asked, so, are you quite affluent then? Lu Hai straightened his posture. I wouldn't say affluent, but I own a house and a car, earn $8,000 a month, receive year-end bonuses, and my savings total around $100,000. Wow, Chen Xiao exclaimed, taken aback. Your company seems impressive. Is an oil field? Lu Hai beamed with pride. Indeed. What about you? Have you found work after graduation? How much do you have in savings? Chen Xiao replied, in terms of savings, it's not much, as I spent it all recently, but I do have some assets. Assets? How much do you have to call them assets? Chen Xiao had only made a rough estimate and hadn't calculated the specifics. Well, it's somewhat difficult to quantify. How about this? What was the GDP of Qing City last year? Lu Hai responded, over 2 trillion, ranking among the top 40 in the nation. Why do you ask? Chen Xiao realized, in this era, cities surpassing 1 trillion are limited to Yindu and Modu. 2 trillion is indeed substantial, befitting a resource-rich city. That seems about right, he concluded. Lu Hai, puzzled, asked, what do you mean by about right? Chen Xiao clarified, my assets are approximately equivalent to Qing City's last year. With a chuckle and a hearty laugh, one could hardly contain their amusement. The distant parents, upon hearing the mirthful sounds, glanced over, and Aunt Wang remarked to grandmother's son, Xiao Hai and Ying's companion seem to get along quite well. He's always been adept at socializing, with a remarkable network at work. Surely, his future is bright. And once Ying marries into their family, they can look forward to a prosperous life together. Grandmother Sun, however, noted that her granddaughter, Sun Ying, had not yet found an opportunity to converse with her mother when she was drawn to the laughter from the living room and approached. Lu Hai pomtidi intazet, Xingying. Keep your distance. He's nothing but a fraud. Ridiculous. You are the fraud. Sun Ying retorted. Lu Hai hastily waved his hands, insisting, no, please listen. Your friend just claimed his assets exceed 200 billion. What's it to you? She replied, somewhat perplexed. Lu Hai, flustered, exclaimed, no, but do you actually believe that? I do, Sun Ying affirmed, leaning against Chen Zhao's shoulder. Lu Hai felt his head spinning. But he said 200 billion, not 200. He exclaimed, nearly exasperated. Indeed, it is over 200 billion, and I believe it, Sun Ying replied nonchalantly. Lu Hai thought to himself, goodness, this woman must be out of her mind. How can she trust such an inept swindler? Resolving to make one last plea, he said, Ying considering the long-standing friendship between our families. I must warn you, if you continue down this path, he may well deceive you in ways you cannot imagine. There is no need for deceit. We've already shared countless moments together, Sun Ying countered. Then I must take my leave, Lu Hai declared, standing up to depart. Sun Ying called after him. You've come all this way. Why not stay for dinner? Ignoring her, Lu Hai marched straight to the kitchen. Mother, let us go home. Noticing his irritable demeanor, Aunt Wang inquired, What's wrong? I saw you enjoying a pleasant conversation with Ying Ying's friend. Indeed, they're both young. There is no need to be shy. Stay for dinner, grandmother's son encouraged. Lu Hai stammered, unable to voice the truth that his daughter had already shared intimate moments with the man in question. Aunt Wang, exasperated, pushed him out, declaring, Dinner will be ready shortly. Stop sulking and wait outside. Reluctantly, Lu Hai returned to his previous spot, feeling utterly bewildered as Sun Ying and Chen Xiao exchanged laughter and banter. Aunt Wang's generosity stemmed from her confidence in her own family's standing, viewing Sun Ying's friend as no competition. As the meal was prepared, the guests engaged in pleasantries at the table. Aunt Wang raised her glass first, exclaiming, Ying Ying is a child I have watched grow up. May our families continue to flourish together. Mother, let us eat, Lu Hai interrupted. Aunt Wang, taken aback, shot him a glare, signaling him to refrain from interrupting, and continued, Ying Ying has never been one to play with boys much. I have always appreciated her wholesome nature. Mother, enough with the drinking. Focus on the food, Lu Hai urged. Aunt Wang frowned, retorting, Child, I haven't even had a sip yet. What do you mean focus on food? Aunt Wang continued. Let us raise a toast to the hope that you both foster a wonderful relationship ahead. Sun Ying stood up and said, Aunt Wang, perhaps you should indulge in more dishes. Aunt Wang then realized that something seemed amiss. She inquired of her son, What is going on? Lu Hai quietly replied, Nothing. Just prepare a red envelope and wait for the full moon celebration. Chapter 397. Only 18 this year, full moon celebration? Aunt Wang glanced at Lu Hai and then at Sun Ying, her heart suddenly filled with joy. However, as she pondered, she sensed something was off. Her gaze shifted to the boy sitting next to Sun Ying, and it dawned on her. This must be Ying Ying's friend? Chen Xiao nodded. I am Sun Ying's university classmate, and also her boyfriend. Aunt Wang's heart tightened. Boyfriend? She feigned calmness and asked, Oh, from where are you? From Lan County, not far. Chen Xiao replied. Aunt Wang felt somewhat relieved. He hailed from small county. How could he possibly compare to the big city? Oh, I've been to Lan County. It's quite nice, especially in autumn when the cornfields turn golden. It's an agricultural county. Seeing his mother in action, Lu Hai chimed in, Mom, you might want to reconsider. Although Chen Xiao comes from a small county, his wealth is substantial. Over 200 billion, right? How much? Aunt Wang inquired. Over 200 billion. Lu Hai repeated, unable to contain his amusement. At the dining table, all eyes were fixed upon Chen Xiao's face. 200 billion. Such a figure was incomprehensible for families earning around 100,000 a year, the only point of reference being Li Chao. Could this young man truly claim to possess wealth akin to Li Chao? In contemporary parlance, it was nothing short of an international jest. Aunt Wang exclaimed, You must have misheard. $200 perhaps would be more plausible. Lu Hai chuckled. No, he stated his worth is the same as our city's last year. Huh? Everyone at the table. Slap. Sun Ying slammed her chopsticks down on the table, preparing to rise. Sun's mother hurriedly said, Aunt Wang, let us eat first. The children's banter should not be taken seriously. Aunt Wang contemplated this, realizing it was best not to escalate the situation, especially at a family gathering. The youth today have no sense of moderation and jest. Now let us eat. She then exchanged a knowing glance with Lu's father. Lu's father understood and retrieved a bottle of liquor from a gift he had brought. Old son, Lu Hai specifically arranged for you to receive 4 bottles of Mao Dai. But I believe such fine liquor should be reserved for more significant occasions. Therefore, I brought an additional bottle of Wulianya. Shall we enjoy that today? Aunt Wang immediately played along. Let us just drink. Why mention those 4 bottles of 10-year-aged Mao Dai? Upon hearing 10-year-aged Mao Dai, Sun Yuemin quickly exclaimed, This is far too precious. I cannot accept it. Aunt Wang replied, It's quite all right, old son. What's wrong with receiving a token of respect from the younger generation? Please don't take offense at such a small gift given the bond between our families. During the new year, one must always bring along suitable gifts. She then cast a meaningful glance at Chen Xiao. Sun Ying, incensed, nearly flipped the table. Chen Xiao quickly pressed down on her thigh, signaling her to remain calm. Aunt Wang, I truly do not possess 4 kilograms of Mao Dai. Aunt Wang, feeling somewhat pleased with herself, remarked, Oh, It's quite normal for young people to be unable to afford such things. I assent to it. After all, not every young person is as exceptional as my son. Chun Xiao replied. While I may not have brought any Mao Dai, I did bring 40 pounds of local specialties. Aunt Wang chuckled lightly. 40 pounds of local specialties? What could that be? Organic corn from El Nexian? This child certainly knows how to handle things. Ha ha ha. Chun Xiao remained silent as he retrieved the bags he had brought, placing them on the table. Uncle, Annie, it's my first visit here, and I wasn't sure what to bring. It's just a modest gift. I hope you won't mind. Oh, Xiao Chun, please have a seat. You needn't bring gifts when visiting Annie's home, Mrs. Sun interjected. However, Aunt Wang was unwilling to let such a splendid opportunity pass. Since the young man had expressed such goodwill, it would be a chance for them to broaden their horizons and discover what El Nexi's specialties truly were. Mrs. Sun frowned slightly, feeling somewhat displeased. She wished for a smooth and pleasant celebration, yet old Wang always seemed to stir up trouble and create friction with the young man. They had once shared a bond, but after years apart, it had transformed into this. Noticing the old woman's insistence on causing a scene, Chun Xiao smiled and said, Very well then, Aunt Wang, please take a look and see how my El Nexian specialties fare. With that, he began to extract one by one the rectangular objects wrapped in red paper from the bag, placing them on the table. They felt quite heavy to the touch. Aunt Wang, taken aback, reached for one piece. What is this? It's not corn. Driven by curiosity, she unwrapped the red paper, revealing a dazzling golden hue. Is this gold? It must be fake. She immediately bit into it, her eyes widening in astonishment as she beheld the clear imprint. The texture was so soft, the color and weight reminiscent of metal. What else could it be but gold? A collective gasp filled the room as everyone absorbed the weight of the revelation. Such a large piece of gold? And surely, the other red-wrapped items must be the same. Even Sun Ying was left speechless. Junior Yu. Chun Xiao grasped her hand and smiled. It's my first visit to your home, and for such an important occasion, I had to bring something fitting. Sun Ying's cheeks turned a rosy hue, not solely because these gold pieces were worth 6 million, as Chun Xiao's shares had long surpassed 1 billion, but due to the sentiment behind his gesture. The two were so absorbed in each other that they failed to notice the expressions of those around them. Sun father, Sun mother, and Lu Hai's family stood bewildered, grappling with the reality that the local specialties Chun Xiao spoke of were, in fact, gold. Had they ever heard of a gold mine in El Nexian? And 40 pounds of gold. How much could that possibly be worth? Calculating at the current rate of 300 per gram, 40 pounds equated to 20,000 grams. 6 million, perhaps? You. Lu Hai suddenly recalled what Chun Xiao had claimed regarding his wealth, his golden spectacles sliding down his nose unnoticed. Was everything he said true? A person who casually handled 6 million worth of gold was surely someone not to be trifled with, even if he didn't possess 2 billion. His status was far beyond what they could comprehend. Aunt Wang, once so chatty, now found herself utterly speechless. Carefully, she set down the heavy gold bar in her hand, which produced a resounding clang as it hit the table. She cast a glance at the serene Chun Xiao, tugging at her bangs, and said ahem, Yueshan, Xiao-san. I just remembered that the gas stove at home might be left on, so I must hurry back. We can have a meal together another time. Sun Yueshan and his wife exchanged worried looks. After being here for so long, if the gas stove is indeed left on, it's not just your home at risk. The entire building might be reduced to ashes. Sun Yueshan suggested, let us finish our meal before you leave. Surely, it can wait a bit longer. Sun's mother discreetly nudged Sun Yueshan beneath the table and added with a smile, since it's such an urgent matter, you should return quickly to check. Aunt Wang, with a flattering grin, departed the dining table, ushering the Liu family out while dressing. Yes, let us reschedule for another day. After a moment's hesitation, she turned to Chun Xiao with a smile. Chun Xiao, do come visit Annie sometime. My niece just turned 18 this year. Chapter 398. Old Chives. Chun Xiao thought to himself, how brazen. Unable to contain her frustration at the blatant undermining in front of her, Sun Ying abruptly stood up and shouted, leave. You are not welcome my home. Sun Yueshan and his wife frowned, hastily escorting the Liu family out, and then returned with complex expressions. Sitting at their own dining table, staring at a pile of gold bars, they felt an unexpected sense of restraint. Sunning Huff, Mom, let us not associate with that family anymore. Sun's mother nodded, sighing, it's my fault for being hasty. I never imagined the Wang family would change so drastically over the years. Sun Yueshan furrowed his brow, his thoughts not on the Liu family, but rather on his daughter's boyfriend. Chun Xiao was quite the catch, and he was pleased with him in every respect, except for his wealth. After Sun's mother spoke, Silence enveloped the table. They were an ordinary family, and their daughter dating should have been a joyous occasion. Yet, the immense wealth of her boyfriend brought them considerable pressure and an array of worries. Sunning observed her parents' expressions and reassured them. Dad, Mom, Chen Xiao treats me well. You need not worry. Sun Yueshan and his wife forced a smile. Chen Xiao, please, let us eat before it gets cold. Sure, uncle. With Sunning present to lighten the mood, the atmosphere during the meal was relatively pleasant. Sun Yueshan gleaned a bit about Chen Xiao's background. His father owned a supermarket, while his mother was a full-time homemaker. Instantly, he felt perplexed. According to Chen Xiao's account, his father's supermarket was quite profitable. Yet it hardly seemed sufficient to allow him to casually present gold bars worth 6 million during his first visit to a girl's home. Noticing her parents' confusion, Sunning explained, Dad, Chen Xiao earned all his money while he was still in school. What? You can earn money while studying? Sun Yueshan asked, astonished. Sun Ying nodded. I witnessed Chen Xiao building his business myself. Chen Xiao added, in the early stages of my venture, I was fortunate to have Sun Ying's support. Oh, that was nothing significant, Sun Ying continued. Moreover, Chen Xiao invested 10 billion in a tourism project in Lijiang and granted me 10% of the shares. The couple was taken aback, their daughter casually mentioning sums in the billions. Stunned into silence, they feared that any words spoken might adversely affect their child's future. Yet, the questions swirling in their minds remained unasked. After much contemplation, Sun Yuemin and his wife resolved to wait until Chen Xiao departed before privately inquiring about their daughter. A young man as remarkable as Chen Xiao. I have never encountered anyone of his caliber on television. Here, allow me to raise a toast to you, Sun Yuemin said. Chen Xiao quickly replied, Uncle, you are too kind. I will drink to you instead. After the meal, Sun Ying's mother urged Sun Yuemin to help with the dishes. In the kitchen, the couple conversed quietly. I feel as if I am in a dream, Sun Yuemin remarked, to which his wife nodded in agreement. Can this truly be real? It seems too extravagant, she questioned. Sun Yuemin responded, while other matters may be uncertain, the gold bars on that table are undeniably pure gold. With a sigh, Sun's mother lamented, that young man is so exceptional. I wonder if our daughter is worthy. Sun Yuemin reassured her, let go of such thoughts. I believe Chen Xiao is a steady character, and he will not let our daughter suffer. You are just envious of his wealth, she retorted. So what if he is wealthy? One cannot hinder their children's relationship merely based on financial status. That would be unreasonable, he countered. With a resigned sigh, she conceded, that is true. Sun Yuemin comforted her further. Each generation has its own fortunes. Worrying excessively is futile. At least with wealth, material needs are met. Without it, both material and spiritual emptiness may ensue. Reflecting on this logic, Sun's mother fell silent and continued washing the dishes. In the living room, Sun Ying seized the moment when her parents were absent, nestling into Chen Xiao's embrace. I'm so sorry for all the commotion today, she said. Chen Xiao smiled. It's quite all right. Perhaps I should return home? Your parents may need time to process the fact that their daughter has been whisked away. Sun Ying sweetly replied. Don't you want to see my room? Chen Xiao hesitated. Well, it's not out of the question. Sun Ying playfully added. Don't you want all right? Enough chatter. I'm not leaving tonight. She insisted, giggling. In the afternoon, Sun Yuemin and his wife made an excuse to step out, leaving only Chen Xiao and Sun Ying at home. Aren't you going to freshen up? Chen Xiao asked. Sun Ying responded. What if my parents return? In the evening? He queried. How is the soundproofing in your house? I wouldn't know. It should be adequate, I suppose. Why don't you call out a few times from your room, and I will listen from outside. She teased. How rude. Meanwhile, Sun Yuemin and his wife strolled through the market, gathering ingredients for dinner. Old Sun, do you think we should accept those gold bars? Sun Yuemin mused while selecting vegetables. Of course, why not? Chen Xiao is more than capable. Accepting them would signify our approval, he asserted. However, Sun's mother hesitated. But it is an excessive amount. After a moment's thought, Sun Yuemin replied, it is indeed quite a lot. Perhaps we should symbolically accept a small portion to show goodwill? As long as he treats our daughter well, that is what matters. In my opinion, we should decline altogether, to avoid appearing greedy, she suggested. Sun Yuemin understood the merit of her argument, yet the allure of the gleaming gold remained enticing. Let us discuss it further upon our return, he decided. After completing their shopping, the couple headed home, their minds a whirlpool of thoughts and emotions. Upon returning home, I found the two children seated in the living room, engrossed in a game of chess. They exchanged a knowing smile, realizing they shared a common interest. Just then, the aunt returned. Oh, you two keep playing. I will go wash some fruit. Lao Sun, come help me. Oh, all right. watching their parents retreat into the kitchen. Sunning finally let out a sigh of relief and whispered, "Hurry, zip up." Chun Xiao was taken aback, realizing he had been careless. Sunning cleared her throat and said, "Cough, I'm so tired. I'll go take a nap in my room." Once in her room, Sun Ing hurriedly changed out of her lace ensemble and tucked it away. Lying on her bed, she smiled faintly. Thank goodness for her keen hearing, otherwise, being caught in the living room would have made this year rather unbearable. However, the thrill was undeniably exhilarating. Even now, her heart was still racing. Chun Xiao, on the other hand, appeared unfazed, as he had encountered similar situations before. The last time in Shishu, it had been a true test of limits. Chun Xiao, I hear you run a financial company? Sun Yuemin, feeling a bit idle, approached Chun Xiao for a chat. Yes, uncle. What do you primarily do? Chun Xiao replied. Stock trading. Oh, how fortuitous. I too have an interest in trading stocks. Shall we exchange insights? Haha, certainly. May I inquire about your trading strategy? Sun Yuemin responded, Oh, I don't really have a strategy. I usually follow the advice of experts on television. Whatever they recommend, I buy. Chun Xiao thought to himself, so? Yes, just another seasoned novice. Glancing at the gold bars on the table, he mused that perhaps some of them were contributed by Lao Sunday, uncle. You know? The expert's advice, isn't always correct. Sun Yuemin nodded. You make a valid point, Xiao Chun. Chun Xiao smiled. So you're aware? Well, initially I wasn't, but fortunately, my finances were the first to realize it. Chun Xiao remarked. You only realized when your money was gone? For someone like you? How much capital is sufficient to sustain such losses? What have you lost? Sun Yuemin replied. Not much, about 80,000. To Chun Xiao, that amount was indeed modest. Reflecting that following expert advice in trading wasn't so disastrous after all. And how much capital do you have left? Sun Yuemin held up 2 fingers, indicating 2,000. Chun Xiao exclaimed, That is hardly a loss at all. Uncle, it seems your money was aware far too late. Sun Yuemin felt a bit embarrassed. Xiao Chun, you're the expert. Do you have any tips to share with me? Chun Xiao pondered for a moment before saying, The best tip is, don't buy, and you'll never incur losses. Sun Yuemin replied, Xiao Chun, you don't understand the situation. This 80,000. He glanced towards the kitchen. Chun Xiao instantly comprehended. It appeared Lao Sun had been concealing his stock trading from his wife. However, he had no particular advice on the matter, as he couldn't include him in his own dealings. Chun Xiao pulled out his phone and asked, Uncle, what is your account number? Let me take a look. Oh, 622700. Chun Xiao diligently noted it down. After a series of operations, he put his phone away. All right, the money you lost has all been recovered. Sun Yuemin was taken aback and hurriedly opened his account to check. To his astonishment, he discovered a substantial sum of 100,000 yuan in his account. Upon inspecting the transaction records, he realized it was a transfer deposit. Chun Xiao advised, Uncle, heed my counsel and let it go. Sun Yuemin replied, I have no issue with letting it go, but I cannot accept this money. Chun Xiao smiled. Take it for now, and let's discuss it after the new year. Sun Yuemin pondered this reasoning and decided to keep the money until after the festivities, agreeing, All right, Xiao Chun, I appreciate your kindness. After the new year, I will have Ying Ying return the money to you. Chun Xiao waved his hand dismissively. It's a trivial matter. A great weight lifted from Sun Yuemin's heart, and he chuckled. Come, let's play a couple of games of chess. Certainly. Observing her husband and prospective son-in-law enjoying each other's company, Sun's mother couldn't help but smile faintly. The more she watched Chun Xiao, the more she found him agreeable. Dinner was quite sumptuous. Sun Ing remarked, Mother, this is truly a feast worthy of the new year. I haven't seen you prepare this much food before. Her mother chuckled. Well, since Xiao Chun is here, I wanted to ensure a variety to accommodate his tastes. Auntie, you've worked hard. Your culinary skills are exceptional. Please, allow me to indulge, he replied. After they had eaten sufficiently, Chun Xiao felt it was time to take his leave. However, Sun Yuemin, already considering Chun Xiao as family, insisted the sun has set, and driving at night can be perilous. Stay the night. You can leave tomorrow. Chun Xiao glanced at Sun Ing, uncertain if it was appropriate. Sun Ing flushed at the attention, while her parents assumed she was merely shy and thought little of it. What would be wrong with that? I prepared the guest room. Just don't mind its simplicity, her mother encouraged. I wouldn't dream of it, Annie. Thank you. Not at all. Here, have some cabbage. It's freshly picked from our garden downstairs. Chun Xiao remarked, Indeed, your cabbage is delightful. That evening, as Chun Xiao lay in the guest room, he gazed out at the pitch-black night, experiencing the ordinary life of a common family, which brought its own unique charm. Before long, he heard the faint sound of the doorknob turning. Turning his head, he noticed a shadow slipping inside, quietly burrowing under the covers. In an instant, he was enveloped in warmth and softness. Chun Xiao smiled faintly. The irresistible urge to act upon this situation was particularly captivating. The night was profoundly still. Any minute sound seemed magnified in the silence. Even the softest breaths could be heard through the walls. The creaking of branches under the weight of the snow subtly entered the realm of dreams, gentle and warm. The next morning, upon rising, Chun Xiao found Sun Yuanmin already in the living room, enjoying tea. Ah, Xiao Chun, you're awake. Did you sleep well last night? Chun Xiao nodded. Yes, uncle. It was exceptionally sweet. Ha ha ha, that is wonderful. Where is Ying Ying? Why hasn't Tishi woken yet? It's almost 9. Uncle, let her rest. She may be exhausted. Sun Yuanmin paused, oh right. She returned from Jining to Bei province yesterday. It was quite a journey, and she's a girl. Such travel can be taxing. Chun Yuanmin nodded in understanding, feeling quite pleased, recognizing Chun Xiao as a considerate young man. Chun Xiao, there is nothing of value at my uncle's house. A friend of mine works at a firecracker factory, and I will fetch some distinctive fireworks for you to take home for the New Year celebration. All right. Thank you, uncle, Chun Xiao replied, pondering the prospect of the firecracker factory. The first New Year after his rebirth should certainly be lively. Uncle, I would like to accompany you. I adore fireworks and firecrackers. Oh, that sounds great. First, let's have a meal, and once we're done, the two of us will set off. Okay. After their meal, Chun Xiao and Sun Yuanmin descended the stairs. Just then, Sun's mother opened Sun Ying's bedroom door. She found her daughter with her mouth slightly agape, disheveled hair cascading over her face, soundly asleep. What time is it? Hurry up and get up. Aren't you afraid that Chun Xiao will think poorly of you? Sun Ying, still half asleep, murmured, Oh, Junior, stop messing around. Let me sleep a bit longer. You exhausted me last night. What? You lazy girl. Get up. Ah, what is going on? You must tell me who this Junior is and what you were up to last night. Finally, Sun Ying regained her senses, feeling somewhat bewildered. Mom, please put down the broom and let me explain. After Chun Xiao and Sun Yuanmin went downstairs, a Santana was parked at the entrance. While scraping the thick frost off the windshield, Sun Yuanmin suggested, Little Chun, why don't you get in the car and wait? Uncle Sun, how about you ride in my car instead? Sun Yuanmin paused, suddenly recalling that Chun Xiao had driven here. Being from a wealthy family, his car would undoubtedly be of higher quality. All right, where's your car? Chun Xiao waved towards a distance. Before long, an entire convoy arrived. Sun Yuanmin stood frozen, holding a snow scraper, as if he had been turned to ice. If memory serves, his nephew's wedding just a few days prior did not boast such grandeur. The lead vehicle was a Rolls-Royce Phantom, followed by a procession of Range Rovers. The convoy approached Chun Xiao, and a swarm of bodyguards in black suits emerged, assuming their positions, some on alert, others opening car doors. Chun Xiao smiled and called out, Uncle Sun, let us get in. Huh? Oh. Sun Yuanmin snapped back to reality, gazing at the luxurious interior of the vehicle, unsure of which leg to step in with first. Settling into the plush sofa seat, he was struck by the opulence surrounding him. The entire convoy remained still, awaiting Chun Xiao's command. Uncle, how do we get to the firecracker factory? Oh, how do we get there again? Chun Xiao prompted. Oh, right. Drive forward and take a left when we exit. Sun Yuanmin quickly responded. The convoy followed his directions, making its way to the firecracker factory on the outskirts of Qing City. Chun Xiao's impressive convoy instilled in Sun Yuanmin a newfound understanding of him. He couldn't help but wonder if the 200 billion he mentioned previously was indeed true. At the very least, the scale of this outing resembled that of someone of significant wealth. Any vehicle within Chun Xiao's grand convoy was worth more than both of his own houses combined. While Sun Yuanmin had not felt the disparity at home, stepping outside revealed the stark class differences. He sighed inwardly, recognizing that no matter how amiable or down-to-earth Chun Xiao seemed, the reality was unmistakable. However, the moment he stepped outside his abode, it felt as though he had ascended to the heavens. Despite being his elder, there lingered an undeniable sense of looking up in admiration. Even though Chun Xiao was considerate of his feelings, it could not bridge the inherent gap that existed. After exchanging a few words with Sun Yuanmin, Chun Xiao discerned that he remained unable to relax. Contemplating for a moment, he said, Uncle, in truth, the extent of wealth does not influence my relationship with Sun Ying. To me, money is merely a figure. There are many pursuits I wish to undertake, which may entail risks. However, I will ensure that I leave Sun Ying with a fortune that she could never exhaust in a lifetime. Sun Yuanmin sighed inwardly, thinking to himself, You are free to navigate this, for even if I desired to intervene, I am at a loss as to how to do so. I have but one request. that Ying does not suffer any grievances. Chen Xiao nodded, reassuring him. Rest assured, uncle, I shall provide her with the most comfortable life. The vicinity surrounding the Starfire fireworks factory was a desolate expanse, a precaution taken for safety. In such a barren locale, the arrival of a convoy of luxury vehicles was indeed astonishing. The factory manager, Huang Qi, hastily emerged, recognizing at once that these were significant clients. However, upon seeing Sun Yuanmin alight from one of the vehicles, he was momentarily taken aback. Old Sun? Noticing his astonishment, Sun Yuanmin clarified, Ah, old Huang. My child wishes to purchase some fireworks, so I brought him here to peruse your selection. Oh, welcome, welcome. This is... Huang Qi was well aware of Sun Yuanmin's family circumstances, and it was evident that the young man beside him was the principal party. I am Chen Xiao. Thank you for your assistance, Uncle Huang. Huang Qi, upon hearing this, was pleased by the respect shown. Haha, splendid. Mr. Chen, please come in and feel free to browse and select. Very well. Chen Xiao followed Huang Qi into the showroom, which displayed an array of fireworks and photographs showcasing their effects post-ignition. As he examined the offerings, he inquired, Uncle Huang, your factory seems to be a substantial investment. The profits must be quite favorable? Huang Qi paused, chuckling on. What profits? I invested over 5 million, and it merely sustains a modest living. It's hardly profitable. The margins are exceedingly thin. Chen Xiao smiled, but remained silent. Sun Yuanmin interjected, Old Huang, please prepare 1,000 yuan's worth for me. It's for this year's New Year celebrations. Additionally, the items purchased by Xiao Chun will be charged to me. Understood, Mr. Chun. Have you made your selections? Chen Xiao replied, I have completed my choices. Very well, just let me know what you wish to purchase, and I will arrange for them to be packaged. After a moment of contemplation, Chen Xiao stated, I am interested in acquiring your factory. Huang Qi and Sun Yuanmin exchanged bewildered glances. Huang Qi appeared utterly flabbergasted. Had it not been for Chen Xiao arriving in a Rolls-Royce, he might have considered ejecting him from the premises. Sun Yuanmin's mind was similarly in a whirl. Just moments prior, they had discussed preferences regarding purchases, and now Chen Xiao was proposing to buy the entire factory. This was precisely why one should exercise caution when displaying wealth in front of the affluent. It could lead to unexpected consequences. Chen Xiao smiled. Please offer a price that you deem fair. Huang Qi was at a loss for words. Should the price be right, selling would not be an issue. Yet, he had just revealed the extent of his investment. This was his livelihood. Huang Qi exclaimed, Mr. Chun, that is quite the proposition. Chen Xiao reassured him, no matter. If you choose not to sell, I can always inquire elsewhere. Huang Qi, 10 million. Huang Qi quoted a price equivalent to nearly 5 years of profit. If one could acquire 5 years' worth of profit in a single transaction, why bother with anything else? Even if one wished to continue, one could simply set up a factory elsewhere. Very well, it's settled. Chen Xiao turned to his assistant and instructed, arrange for someone to complete the paperwork with Mr. Huang, and then halt all firecracker production plans to focus entirely on fireworks. I want to illuminate Lian County with fireworks on New Year's Day. Certainly, boss. Sun Yuanmin and Huang Qi listened in stunned silence. All for the sake of that one day, purchasing an entire firecracker factory. In truth, Chen Xiao was contemplating further ahead. If he were to have children in the future, having his own firecracker factory would allow him to customize the fireworks to delight them. While the opportunity to set off fireworks still exists, let us indulge and enjoy. We shan't wait until it is banned and be left with regrets. Director Huang, someone will be in touch with you regarding the follow-up, and so this matter is settled. Sure. After all, if no one contacts me, I have lost nothing. Consider a chance to indulge a young person's whims. Uncle Sun, let us head back. Once the paperwork is completed, I'll arrange for a truckload to be delivered to your home for you and Ying to enjoy during the New Year festivities. What more could Sun Yuanmin say? He certainly didn't have 10 million to buy a factory, and he would once again find himself as a recipient of Chen Xiao's generosity. Very well. With that, the two departed in their vehicle. Sun Yuanmin felt that every action Chen Xiao took was reshaping his worldview. Within half an hour, he had spent 10 million, and the time spent discussing business was likely less than 5 minutes. A few simple words had concluded a deal worth millions. This experience profoundly altered Sun Yuanmin's perception of spending. Uncle Sun, if you enjoy setting off fireworks, the factory will belong to you. Feel free to take what you wish whenever you like. Oh, haha, wonderful. Upon returning home, Chen Xiao noticed that